in a world where so much is going on. It's hard to even hear myself think and hear my heartbeat.
In this project, I'm using a brand new product that you will get a sneak peek of at the end of this video. Stay tuned, it's coming out this spring.
After another, and I'm tired and weary. I call out.
Have you ever been scrolling through Instagram or Pinterest and you just see these beautiful pieces of furniture? Dang it, why can't I paint like that? And you try and then it doesn't turn out anything like the picture. Why can I not do this? That is how I feel every time I see pictures on Instagram. Hopefully I'll get better at it as I go. I'm gonna walk you through the blending process. I'm gonna tell you how I did it, tell you the things that maybe I've done wrong in the past, so that if you feel like you're blending challenged, maybe this will help you. You need to put on a base coat. And you need to let that sit for a little while, preferably overnight, but at least for a few hours, because sometimes the surface, especially if it's really slick, like if it's a latex paint or an acrylic paint, but it has like a shiny surface, when you go to blend it, it doesn't have anything to grip onto, and you'll just end up with paint that looks like somebody barfed paint all over it. It slips and slides all around the surface. Put the base coat on and let that dry. DIY paint is 5 times more pigmented than most paint. The clay makes it dry faster, so you need to use water. This right here, the turquoise iris spray bottle, we sell it on our website. Look what happens. It's a continuous mist, so it goes on evenly. This is the best because you can brush and spray, and it helps it move across the surface. It prevents it from drying so fast. You get less texture, you need less paint, you get less brush mark. Whenever I'm painting, I use this. The turquoise iris mister bottle is really helpful for blending colors. I like to choose a few colors, put them on a paper plate, and put them on side by side. I use different brushes for each color, spraying in between, and then I take a third brush and blend the 2 colors together to make a third color. The water is key, and so is the amount of paint you use. You don't want to use a lot of paint, and you don't want to use too much water. You want to start blending different colors. Where do I even start? I need some kind of composition, because you could blend colors all together and it could look like there's no rhyme or reason to it. So what I like to do is I like to cheat. I like to go back to Pinterest, wherever I find my inspiration, and I download one of their pictures to give me some kind of composition. I used a picture from the turquoise iris. So I get my colors out and I try and copy it, but maybe I'll substitute a color. It's kind of like a recipe. Like when you're making chocolate chip cookies, maybe it would be better if I threw raisins in there instead of nuts. It's like that. You can go off script, but you have an outline to work from. I'm using Monet's Garden, Blue Iris, and Cherry Pick to blend this piece. This is about how many brushes I use when I'm blending. If you don't have this many, that's okay. You can get brushes for 99 cents at the dollar store. I was too lazy and I just kept trying to just like, oh, it doesn't matter. I'll just dip it in and keep going from color to color. You can muddy up the waters that way. Honestly, I saw Dion do it. She uses about this many brushes when she paints. Say you have Salty Kiss and Blue Iris, and you dip one brush in one color and one in the other, then you can kind of do this action. And you can blend, you can keep the differentiation of color and then make a new color in between by blending those 2 colors together. Tools are important and they do make a difference. Get them out, use them, use all the colors, use all the brushes, and blend.
Your pot of tea, 2 sugars, milk and honey, please, Sir Windsor. Drink a cup like this most every day. Book of pages, nameless, sick and bound and spoiled and blameless, ready for my thoughts in small cachet.
You want to brush in one direction. So I was going like this. It's better if you go like this, pick up the brush, go like this, pick up the brush, and just keep dragging it in the same direction while you're using the spray bottle. If you're gonna cheat, you should give that artist credit. I feel like the artist doesn't mind as long as you give them the original credit. Not that Dion would ever know that I was copying her, because this looks nothing like hers. DIY paint can be watered way down, or you can add texture by applying it really thick with a putty knife. I'm using the putty knives from the turquoise iris.
You and me like two birds of a feather. Don't fly too close to the sun. Finally, after waiting forever, you're not the one.
When DIY paint is wet, it's drastically different from when it dries. It dries very flat and chalky, and then the color saturates again when you apply the top coat.
Touch my fingertips, crush me to little bits.
Once you're happy with it, once you're set, you've slept on it, you're satisfied, you get this and you get your wax brush. You dip your brush in the wax and you start smearing it all across the surface. You do not want to freak out. We call it the wax freak out factor. Once you put the wax on, especially if you blended something, it's going to look really weird. It makes things look transparent, intensifies the color, and it looks nothing like your beautiful masterpiece that you work so hard on. You have to walk away from that too. You have to let it dry. It takes a couple hours. Sometimes it needs to dry overnight. Understand, our wax is natural, so is our paint. It's going to be different than any other paint you use. Because DIY paint is just 9 natural ingredients, it can change 5 times from start to finish, going from the wet color to the dry color, to the color when the wax first goes on, after the wax dries, and then after you buff it.
Gonna walk you to the door, sinking feeling in my heart.
After I got back from Texas, I looked at the top of the dresser and I had painted it, and I decided that I did not like that. I sanded all the paint off and I wanted to put the dark and decrepit on.
But you can't save me.
You can use it to age stuff, or you can use it on raw wood like a stain, and it's water-based, and I barely used any of it. I used the spray bottle and the dark and decrepit because I like the wood grain to show.
You can make me love myself. You can save me.
And now for a sneak peek at our big surprise. We are coming out with a line of pigments that can be used in many different ways. Here I am taking a brush with just a little bit of wax on it to apply pigments to my furniture for intense pops of color.
My favorite place to be is right here, not thinking about what brings me down, yeah. My favorite way to be without fear is in the now. I'm learning how.
Our new beautiful powders will be available this spring in several different colors. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
I'm spending money like I just got paid. $100 bills, tell them keep the change. Come on. Yeah, pop a bottle, about to make it rain. Let me give you something now to celebrate. Come on.
To find DIY paint in your area or to sell it in your store, click the link below. Or to come see us in person in Encinitas, California, go to DIYagogo.com for store hours, directions, or to shop online. Thanks for watching.
Thrift store shades, rose-colored lenses, and a fake gold frame. Come on. Playing old rock songs on an air guitar.